going down, everyone? And today we're going to be covering Maneater, and an amazing shark tale of fantasy and how it grows up to be an amazing foolish shark. But besides that little introduction, my name is Mac here at the MacGyver7 channel, and today we're going to be hitting some patch notes. So let's go ahead and dive into what's going to be happening. And when you put all this stuff on here, it's really great, and they give you a basic rundown of where it fixed instance results and loss and corrupt data. But there is so much more that they're not telling you, and that URL up above is so trash. If you put it in, it won't even take you to the right place. But I got your back. Tripwire can be a little bit hard to navigate sometimes, but check this out as we swim the sea together of what the fixes are. One of the important footnotes that it comes into is a 2-slot save, so that way just in case something goes corrupt, you can flop over to the other one and then utilize the other one to imprint another one. It's a great system that's been implemented for years. So let's rock and roll to the next, which is a protection in the corruption system on top of its overriding system. Now the optimization in the environments and the bug lists to go on. Wanted to put this in as a nice little clip note that they have right there, which was pretty cool for as far as some people that were getting some landmark completions, which is pretty chill, that already swamped up to the portion of beating this game. So the environment buildings and done portions of the map menu have been tailed over on top of the optimization and the fixed done particle portions of the impact performance in all platforms. The fixed large crashes in the tankers and the prolonged portions of the machine portions of collisions. I noticed that. I was actually really disheartened, so maybe that their lock-on system is a little bit more useful. That would be useful for me, as you can kind of see that sometimes they don't always have a perfect attack situation. With the landmarks making a bigger list and the portions of the bayou where the player's shark could become stuck, on top of the batons of the portions of the platoons that were on the boats and the flamingo joes that would have the wrong text, on top of the situation inside of the fire missing inside of the tiki torch, and the situation of the fixes in the environmental collision issues which came into gameplay. So there's a lot of fixes that they kind of came into, which is pretty cool. But let's go ahead and take a little larger look at what happened to the landmarks. So one of the very fun footnotes that comes into place is the landmarks and the collectibles. The radioactive fix in the collectibles and the landmarks inside of the objectives got destroyed, but still can be indicated inside of the situation that needs to be completed. Finding them inside of the re-entered inside of the trigger and the fixed into each area. No, this does not fix each quest, and situation will point for the completing portion. You may need to have a reward not given in order to be addressed inside of another update. So they are going to be working pretty hard. Now inside of this situation, we also come down to the quest, prey, and bounty hunters. On the situation of those, the change in the bounty hunters no longer require the drive kill to progress, and the king of the situation on the parrotfish levels are given inside of the same portions of nutrients. On top of the situation where the bounty hunter boss boat would linger after and the boss player sharks would die in combat. Yeah, but I found that to be really fun because you would be eating them and then you'd be like kind of pushing your shark to go to the limit. It's like the Goku thing. It's like, there's too much, but whatever. On top of that, it follows the quest follow on top of the not breaking if the players refuse to eat the Pete's hand. So if they're being pacifists and they just want to be like, I don't want to do in violence and I'll just be a shark and eat my own stuff that's natural prey. So I don't blame them. They have that choice. They can't. And look at the situation on top of the where we go into the inflame on the not in the progress for as far as the players in the non-equal snore. On top of the situation of the sonar not working, so it should work pretty well. On top of the situation for the narrator would be cut off and the Pete's taunting the shark, which sucks because that narrator is really great because that is Jerry, or the actor that actually is pretty well known past Rick and Morty. That's why I like this game so much. It's really good acting and it's an amazing gameplay on top of that. For as far as the engineering point and the bounty hunters after there was loss and the players would not re-trigger the bounty hunters in the waves, and fix the situation, the cinematic frame issues, which I noticed on top of the situations where you're looking at the multiplayer objects inside of the type and selected. So re-engaging with those situations sometimes can be very plentiful for as far as what you can get inside of there. On top of the situation of what we've already engaged for as far as the re-triggering the boundaries inside of the cinematic frames that we've already kind of covered, we're also looking outside of the multiple objects inside of the same selected portions of the way. Now the players and the sharks and the combat and the wildlife will also be fixed inside of the situation as you have a portion of the player where the shark converts into the prolonged and mother shark. Now, looking at the harpoons floating outside of the shark players and the models without the impaling it, on top of the situation where the shark massive portion of the UI would be incorrect in certain situations in the evolution when equipped. On top of this shark and the tiger shark skin would lose the upgrade, which sucks because I mean that's a lot of pre-order stuff for a lot of people. And then when you had your top point of the shark with the knife and the situation and the surface and the fast travel to the grotto would be the knifing portion of the state where the entered in the portion of the grotto, because I've had that where the grotto was like almost damn near almost impossible to find. So looking on top of that situation where you kind of scroll down to the portion where we gotten past the grotto, the situation for the biting shark, for the bump of the prey and the side of the insert of the biting, that was an issue. On top of the combat and the AI fin, like pretty much they tilled the whole game over, and the game was really good decently already by itself. So it's really nice to see all these situations come into gameplay with the combat coming into place. It looks like the menu got a fix, which is pretty cool, and the incorrect text instead of there. PlayStation 4 even got some situations where the fixed controller disconnect instead of the freeze and the corrupt data and the dramatic loss. Xbox makes the list on top of that situation as we scroll down there, and you can see the fixed issues with the controller, the same thing. So it was definitely a fixed crosshair situation. I wonder if there's any PC players that play with controllers that are like, hey, we didn't get it or we did get it. I'd definitely like to hear your comments down below. On top of that situation where it's the issues in the hardware and when it's shut down with Xbox, which sucks, but now it should be fixed. On top of the tree in the popping portion of the open cinematics, and the situation where the gore and the chunk in the geometric portions of the sketch, and the situation in the UI and the players with the Xbox Live being fixed. The escape on the PC is now being inside of the mapping for as far as the video gaming. They apologize for the situation. Everything will be linked down below, and there will be a correct link, not like this one, that will be shown. Well, everyone, I have to get set up for a nice little testing of this nice live update. You can always join me, my community. I hope to see you guys and gals there. And if you are new to the network, you can always subscribe. Absolutely free, helps me out as a creator. And if you do, who knows? Maybe my shark might learn how to fly. Sky sharks. That's just something you'll have to subscribe to find out for. But I'll see you guys and gals in the near future. Stay safe and stay classy out there. And I'll see you guys and gals there.